Okay, Spencer, hey man, thanks a lot for taking the time to do this with me today. So for the person watching this video, if you could just share your name, where you live at, a little bit about your family and your operation, obviously.
Hey, Spencer Eisenminger. I'm from Humphrey, Nebraska. Married to my wife Brandy for it'll be 10 years here in July, and then we got 4 kids, 2 girls, 2 boys. So
Okay.
we have a custom feed yard there in Humphrey, and have a row crop operation as well.
And then you work with your dad and your uncle, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so first question, man, is what was really not working in life, and this is both personal and business, man, before joining Legacy Farmer? Because I know for you, as a decision to make, you took some time to think about it. But what were the things that were really not working that made you take the jump?
Well, honestly, like I didn't until I started listening to the interviews or the testimonials and stuff like that, and all the videos you had online and stuff like that. I really didn't honestly have a grasp on what was going wrong.
Mhm.
I just never thought that way. This whole deal kind of opened my mind to new ways of thinking and stuff like that. And um, I guess to specifically answer your question, what wasn't working is we all put on in a lot of hours and everything like that, and the bank account didn't necessarily reflect that. And so, before getting introduced to this, I'd always had inklings of things not necessarily, I didn't necessarily see eye to eye with everybody else in the industry as far as like my dad and uncle and how we always did stuff and everything like that. And so when I started diving into this program, it kind of opened my eyes that there's other guys like me that are searching for answers. I don't know if that's the right word or what, but searching for different ways of doing things. And
Did you feel just a lot of a lot of emotional weight and pressure and just stress of what you guys were doing and running the day to day? And I know you got Brandy at home and 4 kids and like running around. Like, did you feel a lot of emotional stress and stuff with that?
yeah, and I still do. I mean, to a certain degree, it's better now because Brandy and I's relationship has gotten better over the course of these 3 months or whatever it was. And but yeah, I mean, I always like during harvest or planting and stuff like that. You realize that you're in the field. You've been in the field for 2 weeks straight and haven't seen your kids, and you see them for the first time in a while, and it's like, geez, oh, peace, for the last year ago, it seemed like. So yes, it is weighs on you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, did you feel, prior to joining too, with the problems and challenges that you were facing, did you kind of feel like you were alone, like you were on an island and not really, with anybody that actually understood what you were dealing with and what you were thinking and the things that you saw wrong and stuff like that?
Yeah, a little bit, because I don't really talk. I shouldn't say I don't talk to the guys at the yard, but being in a unique situation of being the boss's kid, so to speak, I kind of tried to, I don't know, keep my distance as far as that goes. And so then I couldn't necessarily talk to anybody at the yard because they didn't understand where I was coming from, and Dad and John don't understand where I'm coming from. And so, yeah, in a certain way, yes, but again, back to what I said before, I didn't even realize that I was having those thoughts until I started this and started to uncover all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, next question is what was the biggest thing you noticed change for you, both personally and business wise, once you joined?
Well, I think about business decisions a lot more than I used to. I try and take all the stress out now. No, I try not to do any spec stuff as I did in the past. Stuff that's going to add stress to me or my family. And then, the biggest change was Brandon and I started working out and stuff in the mornings. And so, before this, we'd wake up, rush, get the kids ready. We're yelling at the kids in the morning. We're yelling at each other in the morning. We get out the door. We don't see each other until we get back home. Well, now we have at least a time in the morning where we can talk, and my back has felt the best it's been in 2 to 3 years. And same with my wife. And so that's all been
Yeah.
good.
What about business wise though, man? Because we go through a lot of trainings around, just like vaults and estate planning and entity structure and design and getting all your books and everything cleaned up. Like how like what's been the most, valuable benefit from going through those types of things?
Well, realizing how screwed up I was in all my bookwork and all that stuff, because I have no idea where the heck I ever stood. And that being said, how can you make a decision on spending $100,000 for cattle when you have no idea where you're at?
Yeah.
So it's been eye-opening to say the least.
Well, do you think those, like having those tools and everything, are now going to serve you for the rest of your life and running your business and making decisions and things like that?
For sure. Definitely.
So out of everything that we do inside of Legacy Farmer, man, I know we got the training program. We got all of our boardroom calls with all the members, everything that we do there. What's your favorite thing?
Mine is the calls first. I'd say I was pissed at you when we had to cancel a couple weeks ago.
Why the calls? Why the calls? I'm interested.
Oh, because well, for one, you realize everybody's going through kind of the same shit you are, for one. But if you have a question, you don't know which way to turn or whatever, you can throw it out there, and you got 10 guys that are more than willing to, give you answers or what they did or what not to do or whatever, and then your knowledge of everything as well. I don't know. It's like you have your own board of directors in your back pocket, so to speak.
Yeah, well, it really is too. But before this place though, did you have a place to go ask those questions and get honest and unbiased feedback?
No, because the only people I'd turn to, or the only people that I thought knew what they were talking about, were my dad and uncle, or my accountant or banker, all the people that I've always done business with. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy because man, if you added up the total amount of years of experience between all the members that are on that call, I mean, it's a huge number.
Yeah, I would imagine.
How many years of experience and different things there, and I've started, like, a really good saying that I read a while back was that progress isn't always measured by ground gained, but losses avoided. Like,
Yeah.
mass in our industry, very true, because there's no small mistake in farming. So, okay, well, so last question I have for you is what would you say to someone sitting on the fence about Legacy Farmer? Because with Spencer, I think it took you some time. Like you thought about it, worked through it, things like that, and then you made the jump. Like, what would you say to someone after you've already been in with us for several months now? What would you say to someone sitting on the fence wondering if this is for them, if this is for real?
Good question. First of all, I guess you do it because I don't know. It's one thing you guys always say is that you gotta at least take a step, whether it be the right. I think whether it be the right one or whatever, you gotta at least take a step. And for how many years I was just staying in the same spot. Yep. And I made more progress here in the last 3 months with me personally, my relationship with my wife and kids, than I have in the last 10 years.
Yeah. How would you feel about your growth business wise and knowledge wise?
A lot.
Yeah.
Growth being a lot. Again, what you just talked about, knowing what not to do, or at least don't make an emotional decision that could bite you in the butt, has saved me a lot of money already.
Well, And what's crazy, man, too, is I say it to a lot of the guys too when they first come in. It's like, hey, man, if all you did was join the calls, let's say you didn't even participate, never did anything, but all you did was listen in. If all we do is keep you from making one bad mistake by hearing all the other members' mistakes and things they went through, the financial cost of those, and all we did is we stuck one of those in your mind, and 3 years from now, you're faced with that same decision, and you don't make the mistake that the member did on the call, worth it.
For sure.
Like financially worth it, probably 10 times over.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. No, it's crazy because I can point to one about 5, 6, 7 years ago that it's at least 5 times the investment here now.
Yep. Yep. So that's what's massively valuable is long term. The members that are here, they're going to remember the stories. They're going to the big mistakes. They're going to remember forever, and that's what's going to be valuable to them going forward.
Mhm.
So, okay, man. Well, perfect. I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today.